Subcommittee will come to order. The chair recognizes himself for an opening statement. Good morning and welcome to today's subcommittee hearing on examining artificial intelligence and how it is being used in communications technology industries. AI is top of mind right now, not just in this country, but all over the globe. It's been used in different industries for many years, but recent advancements in large language models, machine learning, and generative AI have pushed this technology into the spotlight, capturing public attention and forever transforming how we live and how we work. The applications for this new technology are widespread, and we're continuing to find new ways that AI can be used to benefit Americans' lives. Whether you know it or not, almost everyone uses AI in our daily lives. Like when you use ChatGPT to create a shopping list or ask Siri for directions. Or even more specifically, when you called the rideshare to get here this morning, it uses AI to find the fastest route based on traffic patterns. Your cell phone provider uses AI to reduce harmful spectrum interference on your phone, ensuring there's no lapse in service. The entertainment industry uses AI to predict what types of content viewers may enjoy and drives decisions on when that content should be produced. It's being used to develop content and enhance the editing process. Our military uses AI to enhance efficiency with encrypted communications and perfect precision with drones like we've seen in the war in Ukraine. Even the National Football League uses AI to create the perfect schedule to limit unnecessary travel for players, create an even playing field for teams, and maximize fan accessibility for the biggest games. As demand for AI grows, we must consider what physical infrastructure will be required to continue advanced AI development. Storage capacity and energy consumption demands at data centers are expected to skyrocket by 2030 due to increased AI use. As data capacity increases, we will need robust fiber optics and wireless connectivity to ensure powerful new AI systems can reach their fullest potential and enable every industry to grow. But the United States is not the only country developing advanced AI. China recently released its DeepSeek AI model, which showed their advancements. Our adversaries will stop at nothing to undermine our leadership in technological advancement and utilize AI to threaten our very way of life. We must continue to innovate and develop to prevent that from happening. Competition in AI is a global issue, and it is an imperative that the United States maintains its leadership. To do this, our country and Congress must encourage an environment where AI companies can innovate, compete, and excel on the global stage. Just like the light regulatory touch that gave rise to the internet and some of the most successful and cutting-edge companies on the planet, AI must be given the same opportunity to ensure American companies set the standard for the rest of the world. This is an exciting time and an opportunity to talk about these issues. Navigating these new and evolving technologies will not be without its challenges, but it's our job to meet them head on. Innovation has provided untold benefits to Americans and to our economy. Today, we will hear from our witnesses about how artificial intelligence is being used across the communications and technology industries, as well as what is required for the United States to maintain its leadership in developing AI models. I look forward to hearing from the witnesses today about these issues and how Congress can stand ready as a partner. I now recognize the ranking member, the gentlelady from California, for her opening statement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm glad we're holding this hearing today as connectivity and artificial intelligence go hand in hand. Already, AI is a part of our everyday lives, from improving GPS driving directions to extending the battery life of our cell phones and preventing network outages. As the AI evolves, it will transform how we communicate, improve network resiliency, defending against cyber attacks, and supercharging connectivity for consumers and businesses. To realize AI full potential and ensure AI benefits us all, and not just a few, we must act with urgency to close the digital divide by investing in the infrastructure and skilled workforce that underpins AI's success. Unfortunately, the Trump administration would rather pay lip service to American AI leadership than act. The reality is that they are undermining this exact goal by derailing our AI supply chain with tariffs, gutting our AI talent pipeline by attacking universities and slashing research dollars, and weakening our AI infrastructure by freezing federal broadcasting funding. Universal connectivity is the building block for universal AI access. This includes the fiber networks that provide reliable, scalable, and high-speed connections for AI applications to process large amounts of data. To achieve this, we must act quickly and fully carry out our federal broadband programs to connect the tens of millions of Americans who still lack access to high-speed internet. And that's why I'm alarmed that the President continues to sabotage the $42 billion Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment, or BEAD program. BEAD is a once-in-a-generation investment from Congress to expand affordable broadband. States are at the 1-yard line, ready to reach the end zone and get shovels in the ground. But for almost 6 months, the Trump administration has put BEAD on ice, blocking our states from connecting more Americans, all while threatening to waste even more time with rule changes that would undo the work our states have already accomplished. To make matters worse, President Trump is weakening our AI workforce through his cancellation of nearly $3 billion in digital equity grants. Congress established these grants with bipartisan support to provide communities with the digital literacy skills, training, and technology to reap the full benefits of online access. President Trump's attack on digital equity funds, including trying to cancel California's $70 million grant, is leaving behind our most vulnerable communities, including rural Americans, seniors, Americans with disabilities, and veterans. This is unacceptable. To be the global AI leader, America also must lead on setting common sense guardrails for responsible and safe AI. Otherwise, we will harm innovation by damaging consumer trust and weakening protections for a fair, open, and competitive playing field where AI technologies flourish. I have long championed policies that advance U.S. leadership in AI and other emerging technologies. This includes strengthening AI infrastructure from fiber and wireless connectivity to our semiconductor supply chain. I've also worked to preserve our state's roles in laboratories of democracy, to provide us critical insight on AI policies where innovation and competition thrive alongside common sense safeguards. Now is the time to learn from our states and work on bipartisan solutions to advance innovation and empower all Americans to access the benefits of AI. And that's why the 10-year AI state moratorium that my Republican colleagues jammed through in their reconciliation bill is so misguided and dangerous. We can't afford a 10-year hold on our state's ability to identify and protect the American people from AI-specific harms, not when AI is developing rapidly and spreading to all parts of our lives, and especially not without strong federal AI safe guardrails in place. I look forward to hearing from our witnesses about how we can strengthen our AI leadership. And with that, I yield the balance of my time.
Thank you. I now recognize the chairman of the full committee, the gentleman from Kentucky, for 5 minutes for his opening statement.
Thank you, Chairman Hudson, and thank you, Ranking Member Matsui, for bringing us together for this important hearing, and thank the witnesses for all of you for being here and for your participation. I look forward to hearing about all the ways the artificial intelligence is currently being used and the promise that AI holds for the future. AI is a top priority for the Energy and Commerce Committee this year. Committee's jurisdiction covers almost every layer of the AI tech stack, from energy needed to power massive amounts of computing power to the fiber optic cable and wireless connections needed to move the data through interconnected networks, to the data itself, which underpins innumerable lines of code that together form the modeling needed to generate outputs for the consumer and commercial application of AI technologies. We started this Congress by holding multiple subcommittee hearings related to AI regulation and used cases spanning all the industries under this committee's jurisdiction, including the committee's first full committee hearing on the existential opportunities and risks of AI technology. Today's hearing will focus on AI in the communications and technology sectors, where we are committed to supporting the development of this transformational technology and to ensuring that American innovation continues to set the global standard for advanced networking and connectivity. When ChatGPT came roaring into everyday life in 2022, it provided a clear, accessible example of the power of AI for everyday consumer use. While it is a fantastic tool, it is only one example of how AI can be used, and there are many ways that AI technologies have been deployed over the last couple of decades to support other applications. For example, Some applications use AI technologies to detect and prevent spam robocalls. So hearing this going up, that's why I wasn't here at the very beginning, 2 floors above us. A lot of times when we go home, we come back, most people around here say, what are you hearing back home? Well, I can tell you, robocalls is one of the #1 priorities of everything going on in this Congress and this country. Robocalls are one, and spam is used to prevent, AI technology used to prevent the spam robocalls. And there are other areas to implementing sophisticated cybersecurity systems to prevent and secure consumer data. Law enforcement officers and other first responders in the field can utilize real-time language translation to help assist people facing language barriers. Even today, music artist Randy Travis is taking full advantage of AI. After suffering a stroke that reduced his ability to sing and speak, he used AI tools to recreate his own voice from his own recordings to continue producing new music. I firmly believe that we are beginning to uncover the possibilities that AI has to offer. America is uniquely positioned to continue innovating as a global leader in this sector, but this requires a commitment on our part. It is vitally important that we hear from industry experts that has enabled AI technology to develop rapidly and how we can allow AI to continue to thrive in America while addressing potential risk along the way. At the same time, our adversaries are also developing cutting-edge AI technologies in an effort to capture global technological dominance. We cannot allow countries that do not share our values to lead in technology as important as this. As I've said before, if we do not secure AI leadership, China will fill the void. Europe's not going to fill the void. They made decisions in their energy policy and their regulatory policy to eliminate themselves from this transformational technology that improves the quality of life of the people that live in our societies, and we need to do it correctly. And if we see development of AI technologies to China, which as a nation does not share the same ethical values we do, we will also see the ability to shape future development of these technologies in a free and democratic society. As such, it's important that we take a measured approach and strike the right balance between facilitating innovation and providing principled guardrails where needed to address gaps in current law. As we have seen with Europe's approach, as I said, on everything from energy production to data privacy, imposing heavy-handed regulation on AI stifles innovation and stunts economic growth. If we can get this right, and we have to do this together, there is no limit to American innovation in artificial intelligence or the benefits it will unlock for all Americans. I really appreciate our witnesses for being here. Mr. Pickering, welcome back to Energy and Commerce Committee. I'm not sure there's any member here that on our side of the aisle that served when you were here. But that wasn't that long ago. But thank you for, maybe Mr. Latta might have served the same time you did. But anyway, we really appreciate you being here and all of you being here, and we look forward to your testimony, and I yield back.
Thank you, Chairman. I now recognize the gentleman from New Jersey, the ranking member, for 5 minutes for his opening statement.
You notice, Chip, that he said only there may not be a Republican, but there definitely is a Democrat, me. But in any case, we've now had numerous hearings this Congress on artificial intelligence, and we've heard about the benefits and risks of AI. And while we continue to hold hearings and debate the need to adopt common sense guardrails to protect consumers from bad actors using AI, some states have already moved forward and adopted these laws, providing basic consumer protections from the negative consequences of some uses of AI. But instead of learning from what the states are doing, House Republicans last month passed a 10-year ban on a state's ability to enforce their own laws protecting consumers from AI's harms. And this provision, which was included in the budget reconciliation, is nothing more than a giant gift to big tech. And I hope, we're working to see if we can get the Senate parliamentarian to rule this out of order under the so-called bird bath. But that's not because of the Republicans' efforts, it's because of the Democrats' efforts. And the problem is that this provision would block enforcement of laws on the books right now that are protecting consumers from real-world harms. Some states have laws requiring companies to disclose when they're using AI. Others have laws protecting against the use of deep fakes in elections and protecting consumers when AI is used in healthcare, education, housing, and employment. Now, Republicans want to ban the enforcement of all these state laws with absolutely no national bill ready to go to address these concerns. Instead of enriching big tech, we should be working towards strong federal legislation to govern and guide the development of these powerful AI systems, which are rapidly being incorporated into more and more aspects of our everyday lives. The Trump administration also continues to undermine our progress in building the connectivity infrastructure needed to power the AI models of today and tomorrow. For no good reason, the administration continues to stand still in rolling out one of the key demands of AI, and that's fiber. Broadband programs designed to bring high-capacity fiber to both data centers and our homes are critical if America wants to continue to lead the world in AI. Any delays in connecting every home and business to reliable high-speed internet only benefits our foreign adversaries. America's strength comes from our ability to build and deploy the most advanced technology here and then share it with the rest of the world. But this can't happen if everyone in America does not have high-speed internet access. And I therefore urge the Trump administration to get out of its own way and let the bipartisan infrastructure law's $42 billion BEAD program move forward as intended, letting the states deploy networks that are fast, reliable, and can meet the technological demands for decades to come. Now, I also have to acknowledge that simply bringing the internet to American homes will not allow us to lead the world in AI. To complete the task, Americans need to understand how to use AI. And that's why House Democrats voted to include the Digital Equity Act as part of the bipartisan infrastructure law. This act funds programs that can help seniors, veterans, the disabled, and others learn the skills needed to fully participate in our digital economy. Yet in the last couple of weeks, President Trump unilaterally and illegally, in my opinion, decided to stop the funding for these programs, falsely claiming that they are racist. I can't stress, teaching grandparents and veterans disabled how to use AI as well as protect themselves from scams and scheduling doctor appointments and applying for jobs online has nothing to do with race. The Digital Equity Act recognizes the digital divide, and it's not a racial divide. I mean, there's an element of a racial divide, certainly, but it's because there's so many people who are seniors and veterans and disabled, regardless of their race or ethnicity, that need to know how to use it. And it has nothing to do with race. It's just unfortunate that the administration is doing this. Last thing I wanted to say, Mr. Chairman, is while we still need guardrails to govern and guide the development of AI, there's no question that AI has the potential to advance how our communications networks serve the public. For instance, AI models can be deployed in our networks to help enhance resiliency and reliability so that when natural disasters hit or other life-threatening events occur, Americans can rapidly assess the damage and quickly get the help they need. And that's why it's crucial that we fund the deployment of next-generation 911 across the country. Again, it's a shame that the House Republicans want to use spectrum auction proceeds to fund this giant tax giveaway for billionaires and big corporations instead of helping fund next-generation 911, which is obviously what I've been pleading all along. That's where we should be using that $88 billion in spectrum auction, and not to pay for the, what do you call it, the big beautiful bill? I call it the big ugly bill. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We've now concluded with member opening statements. The chair reminds members that pursuant to the committee rules, all members' opening statements will be made part of the record. We'd like to thank our witnesses for being here today to testify before the subcommittee. Our witnesses will have 5 minutes to provide an opening statement, which will be followed by a round of questions by members. The witnesses here before us today are Chip Pickering, Chief Executive Officer of Encompass, and former member of this committee, as has been noted. Welcome back. Ronnie Vasishta, Senior Vice President of Telecom for NVIDIA. Thank you for being here. Jim Shea, Chief Executive Officer for DeepSig Incorporated. Thank you, sir. And Asad Ramzanali, Director of AI and Technology Policy, Vanderbilt Policy Accelerator at Vanderbilt University. I believe you've been in this room before too, but we're glad to have you back. Thank you. Mr. Pickering, you are recognized for 5 minutes for an opening statement.
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Matsui, Chairman Guthrie, to all the members on the committee, it is great to be back to what I consider my home, where I served for 10 years on the Energy and Commerce Committee. I love this committee. I love its and respect deeply the role that it plays in this institution and in setting the policies, the critical policies of this country. I'm the CEO of Encompass, and to talk a little bit about who we are and who I represent. We are the founding voice of competition and network policy. We advocated over 40 years ago for the breakup of the AT&T monopoly system, bringing the first competition to the telecommunication networks. And then as we went into the 90s and into the current age, competition across all networks and in the internet. And today we have assembled something that is different than and unique from all other associations in our space. We now have members that are new energy companies, new SMR nuclear fusion companies, traditional gas and gas pipeline, transmission and grid companies that are on one side of the data center. And we have all the stack of data centers from small to regional to hyperscale. And then we have all of the broadband networks from fiber to fixed to wireless to satellite LEO systems. And then on the other side of the market, we have all of the leading American technology companies, but we also have the new entrants, the new startups, the innovators, the entrepreneurs that are creating the new AI models. So both on the model side and on what we now call AI infrastructure on both sides of the data center. And we think that makes us uniquely credible. To be honest, we try to create a membership that matches your jurisdiction. You are the only committee in all of Congress that is on both sides of the data center and has the jurisdiction on all of the major elements and questions of AI policy. And you have a serious obligation and responsibility to get this right. We are now in a race against China to win the future of an AI economy, an AI-driven national security and cybersecurity, and we need a national framework of AI policy on each of the major questions to win that race. And so today I would want to start a conversation of how do we do that and how do we win that race. And there are two major objectives. One is to maximize competition among all models, because as you maximize competition, you'll get the greatest investment and the greatest innovation. In this race, unlike what we faced in the World War II and the nuclear race, and in the Cold War, the space race, those were federal government-funded initiatives. The AI race is primarily funded by the private sector and private actors. And so what we need to do is to give the predictability and the certainty of a national framework so that the investments made to win that race will be made without